Hello. um, this is a. I have decided to do a, another stream today, uh, just to show the close what's happening here. I have, I consider this is well worth to have a look at because there is something here that that I believe is worth to observe. How these markets work, right? We have a spike, as we said. Um, this is the spike, right? And most of the activity today has happened above the spike, right? Signaling acceptance of these higher prices. We have overnight inventory was long and some contraction happened here, right? Which kind of like give us some sort of um, vision that there can be the two-way trade day to day. It was only almost one-sided, but what happened here? You know, now look at we talk about this in the morning and how yesterday or Friday had nothing similar to this, right? It actually ended in a spike. Today, however, as the day is coming to a close, we're seeing short covering here, right? So, and this is just represents back and forth from the shorts that probably are trapped here in this market, right? We're still, but I still haven't seen a spike, right? That can sign a capitulation of these loans, of these shorts here, getting finally accepting their fate. Now, it is it's unbelievable how little volume this bar has, right? Relative, for example, to any other one here, right? This one. It's pretty much like this, very. See, has lower volume, but this is something that catches my attention. What I having today relative to these days, right? So there can be some volatility here that may come to this market in the upcoming days. That doesn't have to happen, right? Now, um, even though, okay, we have this short covering here, you know, when the morning stream ended, when I closed, we had 4 distributions here. And I closed saying that this market may need, may want to close, or may want to close at least 2 of the distributions, to the upper distributions. I did close only 1, right? It got very close to close the lower one, the center, which happens to be where support is, right? And one of the things, again, that this is very weird here, right? These kind of buy-ins that happen, you know, exactly where we were talking, right? I'm not claiming that I knew this was going to happen, but this is very weird, actually, to me. That happened. It just signals who is here in this market. Now, as we get closer to the close with this market is testing this selling here, but it's not when this happens, right? When this happened, there was nothing. I thought there was some sort of news or anything behind it, but I couldn't find anything, right? Um, the market may attempt now to close, finally maybe close this distribution or closing again. It will be really important to see where it closes relative to this to the current profile. We have no excess in the upper side, right? But because remember what we have down here as well, right? We also have no excess here, and I want to expand. I want to increase the size of this chart here. You have no edges on the lower side, and I'm pretty much kind of like a short covering here. There's a bunch of stops here, here, and here, right? There's a lot of weakness in the upper side. The thing is, markets don't get out of balance, right? Because of short-term traders. Usually there are bigger time frame trading that is involved in this kind of actions. That is not happening today, or haven't seen that at least. Right? I can consider this little low, all right, taken care of from this day, right? But I want to see this little break that we have, M printing right inside L period had done something for this market. It has moved POC from, I guess where it was. It was down here, a little bit higher. Right? It is as high as it can go. Can it go higher? We have 3, 6, 9, 3. It cannot go higher. This is as wide as it will be. All right. Now we don't have excess on the upper side. We don't have excess down here. All right. Trying to do something in here, it is very risky. But considering the type of day we have had, right, trending day here, we have a test here, or rebalancing of the long inventory. This is a pullback. Now we have a second one. That can be considered normal, right, in trending days, right? And we have a higher high. Look at this, right? Also higher low here. What we are watching. There may be something here at the close, just similar to this, right? It doesn't have to be above this, but it can come down and can retrace significant distance from where the market is at the moment, maybe in the final 15 or 10 minutes of the day. This market, I'm going to bring these kind of channels here. Right? This market went from checking the upper side of the range, which is, I believe this is when the stream ended, right? To the center of the channel. It didn't reach the opposite side now, and now we are, this is the big sell, right? Big sell, and let's trade sideways at the center. Now it is, we are at the same situation that we are here. We are higher though, right? But the conditions, the environment is the same, right? But higher this time. What does it mean? That this can come back higher, maybe to the center of this line. It is very hard that it can come back to this upper side of the bands, but it's not impossible. Now look at where this RSI is, right? A 2-period range change here is oversold here, right? But it's still inside. We don't have this part like we had here, very inventory very long here, right here, and in these areas, right, very very high. And now that hasn't happened. And check the clock, check your watches as well. Right? It is 3:33. I don't think there's too much time in the day to do something in here, right? I don't say it cannot go here, but trading wise, to do something, to position ourselves to do something this time of the day is quite risky, in my opinion, as it was being long here, right? That was the last thing I remember we talk before the stream was. Oh, unfortunately, I couldn't stay. I had things to do, right? Um, I guess it was here. You will remember where, right? I'd say that I didn't see yet an opportunity, right? I was using this chart here. This is the 30 high, 30 high, 30 low, right? And the market was, I believe, was here in this area. We have something here, flattening, right? Ideally, I would like to see something like maybe flattening here and then go down, right? But this is a V-shaped market here. What happened here? Boom, boom, and you have something here in the lower side, as you can see, right? This part of the market provides some opportunity. There's something here, you know, some very extended to the downside here, and multiple times trying, and finally you got something to the upside here. Knowing this kind of action, you got some really good location here to monitor a trade, right? Somewhere long here, or following this. Um, 10 SMA is a good area, right? This was the trade here. I trade options. I didn't have too much because for an option to work, even though this is how much, maybe 85, like 15 points. The options don't move that much, right? They move a fraction of that amount. And noticing how far it's getting from this average, right? Just check it out, how far it's getting, right? The farther it goes, the more likely it's going to be pulled back because of the type of day, right? Of course, it's easy to say after the fact, right? Everything is easy after I had the charts printed. Everything is easy, right? We talk about this. And this is what was happening, right? This is something else that we talk at the time, right? This was going to happen, right? It didn't happen like that. Or maybe we can do this, right? This is a trap here, right? Being reactive, right? I guess we will see more sideways trading here. Probably. This is being tested, right? We have this area flattening here. It may come down here. I may resume here. Right? I have no idea what's going to happen. I just trying to assess what risk I have. Now let's see. I'm going to wait here to see there's some buying that comes here. Just because of this thing, right? What happened on Friday is something that may happen again. Now, remember what we have here, right? Remember what we have here. It is exactly the same thing that is repeating here again. If I do anything here, or if I have anything, one, first, it's not going to be to the downside. Second, if I do, and it has to work really fast. Okay? If it works, because if it doesn't work, I have to close right away. And third, if it does work, I also has to be nimble to monitor the trade and close. As soon as I got something there, because this kind of lows are very, very risky. Now Friday we have some upside, in the last 10 minutes. Some upside, some big bar to the upside. Very big fat bar, very fat bar, right, to the upside, kind of like this, but to the upside. 10 minutes before the closing. But the next one was even a bigger one, farther one, this time to the downside, here. And I think that last 5 minutes is what have had bigger impact in what we have during here this overnight here. Right? What I'm watch more are the first five, right, or the first five, um, the bar that prints at 350 here. All right. Ooh. Nasdaq. Let's see Nasdaq. This is a really interesting thing. Right? What happened here? Right? With this, once we had this prints, it's just check a little bit below and then never look back. This was very important. We have printing here, printing, and a big volume, right? The thing is higher, next one higher, and this can be used as a support. Now, if this one falls, I start to check this one and this one on how. If this one falls, I check this one, and monitor how fast, how tempo is at whatever moment of the day it's happening. The upper side, this is a 550, something like that. Let's see what we have here. It's very extended to the downside here now in the 5 minutes. The 15 is showing a buy, mechanical buy. Same goes to the 13. Oh, this is the 15, right? Buying exactly from this reference. But look at what it is at high. This is why it says buy. The first time it checks the 30 high, that's a buy. I don't trade the 15 minutes. All right. Yeah, it's kind of like a rebalancing here. Some good. This is an opportunity here. This can be an opportunity to go to get along here, right? But remember, context is everything, right? It's a rebalancing here. This long inventory. Right? This is the 30. I mean, this is the 60. These overlapping bars creating a range. Nice, good looking range here. Right? This is a sharp decline, right? And then just once it comes back here to the where everything started, right? Just take a look at this bar here, where it is. Boom, up we go. Let's take a look at the 120. The 120 also. This looks like buying, like a positive flag here, right? Because you got upside, breakout, sideways trading, consolidation. This can be consolidation, right? And this happening right, at where a potential destination was. It closed almost all the single prints that we have there. Checking the upper pocket there. I don't consider the markets out of the boots yet. It has some potential to the upside. Look at this one. This can have big one, right? So the spike, if we have a spike here, it might be significant, even bigger than Friday's. I'm not saying that's going to happen, right? What I'm trying to do is monitor, right? The last thing I want to be here is short. That doesn't mean that the long is what I want to be either. One of the things, for example, that I was considering here, I was considering having some what it was. Oh, here I have this one, these two here. I was considering to have a long here, right, in this market, because it has really nice sell sign as here, right? But to get a long here, what I feel needed is these two to be taken. It didn't happen, right? It took too much time, right? We have an upper high, right? And then it's going lower, right? You have another lower high here. 1, 2. This is, I don't know if this is going to be, right? But the next thing, this is where a potential is, right? The next thing for this bar can be way up here, right? And this is many times mislead traders when it comes back up to here. Now this now is going to take this one here, and we're going to the moon. Can happen, yeah, it can happen. Huh? But notice also what time the day of the day is. All right, all right, all right. It's coming back inside. So now has closed above this 5. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times in a row closing below the 5. Now the first time is closing above, and just 5 minutes before the 10 minutes after the close, and before the close. Look at this buy here, Nasdaq. All right. I would be long if this was a red bar, or if this bar has nice axis here. This is where it can come, right? But remember, you have this thing here, and this thing here as well. Everybody, I think, is watching, trying to get the 7,000 again. Now, when finally they accept that the 7,000 is not going to be taken, because who is here in this market is, the vast majority are short-term traders or short-term trading. And finally accept that they are not going to get the 7,000 and start selling. That's when the 7,000 is going to be taken. So let's have patience here. Okay. Let's check this out, what happened in this period. Has Eden. This is a doji here that have right about previous period, right about those two bars, right? Back to back, kind of like a same size bars, right? Technically, technicians have seen this as a very positive movement. Trading here at this time of the day requires some stop, very type stop. Entering a position needs to have, and I would never enter a position here without a stop incorporated as the position is open. You check this out, how much volume here. It started 30% lower. And it's ending, as we approach the close, we are 39% lower. So very low relative to Friday. There's no reason to short this market, man. I got three trades. One kind of like very close to the weekly opening. Another two. I know I had two last night. All right, one for a loss, one for a win. The other one was in here, as I say, it was in here. After this big break, you have something here in these 4 bars. Let's see what we have. Now, this is what I'm trying to Okay. And after this bar closes, right? Well, let's see what do we have. I'm going to get rid of this bar so we can see volume. You can see better volume here. No, right. Here it is. Let's see what we have here right now. Some setting there. No, there's nothing here. Check this out, man. Check this out. Where is this one coming from? Both markets are doing the same. This is not a good high here. This high. Maybe. What's this 94? 94 here, right? This area here. What I would the buying that I was kind of like waiting or expecting comes here in this bar. Let's see. And I got that from Damo. That's something I learned from Damo. What credit was due? Credit to Damo. Pablo, see. His trading room is really good, man. Hold on for a second. Oh, I had to take that car. That's cool. Now, look at what's happening now. All right. Remember what happened the last 10 minutes. You can replay the last 10 minutes of Friday. Well, that is kind of like the same dynamic, but it's kind of like compressed now. They are not waiting now for the last five to do it. But this is not something I would like to be short. We have three distributions here. This market can come back to. Let me close this. Remove that. That's not relevant anymore. This one also. Notice where this lows are. Low. This is overnight high. All right. Same thing happened on something that happened, I believe. I guess it was this day. No, I don't know. Who cares now? Let's see if this movement can close. That would be better, actually. I would like this better, right? Closing this distribution, right? And keeping these ones. Keeping these ones open, keeping at least two distributions, still keeps the market to the upside. And better balanced, actually, with a better balance. It's quite the opposite and to right now. It's kind of the opposite and to Friday. Look at that. It's a, for me, this is a weird week. Right? You have CPI on Friday, non-farm payrolls on Wednesday. Mm, it's going to be an interesting one. All right. One of the things that also kills me. Uh, Oh boy. All right, market's close. Uh, he came back right to this high here. This high. Look at where this high is. This is very bad high here. The low is not good here. You have a small range here, back and forth, back and forth. We might see some sideways trading here, or we can see some break, or we can see some upside. It has been a really hard day regarding how this how the charts might look. It has been a really hard market to trade. This is not has been an easy market to deal with. You know, you need to have a deep appreciation for market dynamics. You know, trying to understand what the market are doing and how opportunities can show. One of the things that I noticed, for example, and this is I guess it has happened for over 6 months now. It has been a different market. This is a different market than maybe the one we have last year, right? The first half year of 2025, for example. It's a more calm, even though we might have these wide ranges. It doesn't have the craziness that it has had before. So kind of like a more controlled environment, more prone to be to trade. Um, I mean, more likely to be in control of kind of, I would say, like adults or more professional trading going on, right? Or at least being the dominant force, right? Because there are always both sides, you know, all kind of participants, but the dominant, the ones that are in control of the market, the change for me at least is 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 uh, is notable. All right. I hope I hope you had I hope you had a good day. Because I'm calling it a day here. And we'll come back tomorrow. I hope I can come back tomorrow. Um, for tomorrow, before I leave, let's just give a quick look. Bitcoin has not closed the gap. Yeah, has not closed the upper gap. It seems to me like this may be acting as I have a significant, maybe even this one. I'm going to call this one. This is a pivot here, this high here. This is where this movement may be heading, right? This day has a spike here, you know, a lot of trade above the inside that spike, inside the spike. We may see something here towards, but I wouldn't do anything here in this market here. Gold, gold quietly has came back inside, you know, the half back here, the center of this big back here, right? Which is also the 5,000 mark. I don't know why I have this 5130, but it has stopped right there. Oh, there is this high here. It is higher. Let me see. Let me see. This is. Ooh, it has failed. We still have maybe one more hour here, but it is failing. Or it's weakening anyway. You know, so you have this upside, right? It is one thing doing this, right? It can give some. We can have something to say, but it has stopped right here, a little bit lower actually, and that is fail here, and we may say something to the downside. Um, it doesn't have to come all the way down to here, right? But the next day is what I'm trying to assess here, right? Um, let's say yes, well, yes, we have these bars, all right? We have this. This is not overbought here, for example, right? We still, there's potential here to the outside. The same thing that happened here in this market when we had this breakout, right? Fail, 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 and acceptance. Boom. Right? Now we have the same thing in the upper side. No? It's selling, for example, right now. What's happening here is this market is selling from. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I want to do this mark here. All right. We have this excess here. Right? It's selling right before getting to this one. The next time it may get in here, it may give us something like this. But I think that is what this market is trying to do. It has checked the lower side of the range, has checked the lower side, which is this one here, and look below, and failing is targeting this high here. Now, it may look above and then come back. What's going to happen? I have no freaking idea. Nasdaq. What's up, Nasdaq? Nasdaq is doing lower lows now. Nasdaq is the weakest one here, right? We got a high, lower high, lower high. Is this going to happen? Until something changes, until this high is taken, for example, sellers are in control of this market. Look at the Dow. It's making all-time highs. Did this? Yes, yeah, it is making all-time highs. Huh. I thought Dow didn't make all-time highs, but it did. Huh. It is making all-time highs, isn't it? Huh? And then we were talking about this a lot of times. This is one of the markets that had more potential. Now you see Dow, okay, Dow. Because we have here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a lot of highs here, right? And when the market finally takes this highs, it just does with a lot of volume, does it with fury. There's a trend line here. Be aware of this trend line here as well. I don't know what can happen there. Loosen. Loosen is taking this range out. This negative, this is selling here that has happened, right? Kind of like a loading area here. You can see there's a bunch of reds here, right? All this. It's taking that. There's a lot of short inventory here. Let me be careful here. This actually can follow the ES. My bad. Can follow the Dow. All right. The next thing in the upper side is just the all-time high. We can make it here. Looks like, right? And with this, if the ES decides to do something here, we may have 3 out of the 4 markets doing something. doing something to the upside. All right. I don't have really much for tomorrow. If any so far what I'm watching here is, I would exercise caution here. It is interesting how this significant selling came up here. This can be some profit taking. This is bigger than the opening. And the opening can be profit taking or maybe some positioning as well. I have no idea. I will know. We will know just, everybody will know after, just after the fact. Okay. Um, I think there's some good also. The Nasdaq will keep going higher here. I will monitor. What I don't like from these markets is, for example, and this is why I say I don't have anything. Okay, I'm going to bring this one back again. Right, just check the highs. Where this high is. This high is right at the 7,000. Wait a minute. I need to make this chart smaller. Because I forgot that the screen is not that big. The stream is not that big. All right, I got here this high here. Non-excess is like a 7,000, right? It's low, glided overnight high. This low, my bad, this low, overnight high, overnight low as well. All right. The distribution has been closed, potentially maybe looking towards this one here, 68, 66, right? So both sides. On the upper side, we have quite wide range high, the all-time high made during the overnight session, all those kinds of things. Nasdaq, let's check Nasdaq here. Let's check Nasdaq. Nasdaq, we have the same thing. We have the lower side here, non-excess this day, overnight low here, and the overnight low, low liquidation that actually can attract the market higher, short covering that weakens the market, excessive, really like a bunch of stops here in this area, which can be the reason that the market has gone this much. All right, have a wonderful rest of the day. Stay safe. Hope to see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye.